Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
I'm Jo'Van.
I'm Brandice.
And you're watching
Closing the Gap.
Thank you for joining us again for another exciting episode where we will be talking about
the downfall of technology.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, wow. That was not
It was.
rehearsed.
That's crazy.
We're in sync.
We are.
Okay.
Like robots. Bum, bum, bum. You messed it up.
You didn't get your upgrade.
I'm still on iOS 8.
Yeah, we're on 15.
All right. What you got for us, Brandice? Because I took no notes for this one because I thought we were doing something else.
Yeah, iOS 8. Come on. Get up. Catch up.
I thought we were talking about Beyonce and Demi Lovato today, but that's next time.
Maybe. I'm just kidding. So, technology. Technology can be for our good, but also can be very bad. I think it's doing a lot of harm right now.
Name one thing that's bad about technology. Give me one thing. My blender is amazing. So is my toaster. My microwave is messing up. Like when I press the button, it turns on when I open the microwave.
So the thing that's bad about technology, I feel like it's bringing a divide amongst us people. There's a disconnect when it comes to human relationships and just interaction. I feel like there's a divide and a disconnect.
What do you mean? Like how?
Well, let's go back in time.
Okay.
Let's go way back. So remember simpler times before Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all of the things. When you wanted to call or when you wanted to talk to somebody, to connect, guess what you had to do? You had to pick up a phone and actually have a conversation with people.
People still do that.
When the last time you had a conversation with somebody? Like outside of like work or like during or like legit necessity?
I talked to my dad yesterday.
Again. Okay. For real though, for real.
Texting is so convenient though.
Exactly.
I don't have to stop what I'm doing.
Exactly. There that interaction of like legit concern or checking on somebody, getting that, like, because people can text, oh, I'm good, but if you pick up the phone, hey, how you doing, you hear the like, I'm good, like you hear it
behind, though? Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
As opposed to just that reading that text. So I feel like back in the day when there was only like you could only call somebody. Listen, even when cell phones came out, like there was texting. However, it costs your arm and leg to text. So if you text somebody, you really got to get your point across. It was none of this like all day long group messages. All that no. If you want to text somebody, you really care for that person to spend that 15 cents, however much it was, to send the text out to people. So there's that.
No, that's facts. Because back when I was in middle school, I would talk to girls I'd be on the phone, and if we weren't really sending texts, like I wasn't a big texter back then, but you couldn't send like.
And you had to work for that text. Remember T9? You had to A, B, C. Oh, C. Okay, yeah, H. Yeah. You had to work for a text. Now it's so
Yeah, I had to be extra smooth. I'd be like, hey, yeah. So how was your day? How was math class today? Now I can send a TikTok, and that's like kind of like a conversation now.
No, seriously, I think we send each other reels and memes all day. But I don't talk to you, and it's like.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
It is. I will say this: it is a lower form of relationship and communication, but it is a form of like communication and maintaining that connection.
Yes,
you can just send someone, and you'd be like, "Hey, I think this person would like that." You can really make someone's day by doing that.
Yes,
but it is not talking.
It is not.
It's not.
So
talking.
Although I might send you stuff all the time, I think I need to do better. Like, hey, Jo'Van, how are you?
You really should. Because
two-way street.
You have no idea how my day's going.
And you don't know how my day is going.
Right. So we don't know how each other's days are going, but we know that they'll enjoy a meme. But, she could have been sitting in traffic for like 3 hours, sweating.
Crying.
And I would never know. It was just like, haha, look at this dog.
Yes. No, I truly feel that way. It's like the progression of technology. Yes, on one hand, you can keep up with your high school friends and like know, oh, Sally got married, has kids, great. But I feel like a lot of people, again, with disconnect. A lot of people aren't going to their high school reunions because they're like, oh, I know what everybody's up to. You really don't. You only know what they are showing you or willing to show you on social media. And so I feel like people have gotten to a point where they feel like, okay, Jo'Van showed this picture. He's at this concert. Oh, you're living your best life. But you don't know, yes, he went to that concert, but then at home he's crying or he's going through his turtle died and all the things. So if you don't, like, pick up the phone and have this relationship, that's, okay, being silly, but for real, I think people have see like the snapshot, like, oh my gosh, they have the perfect marriage, they have the perfect life, and then when something tragic happens, when they come to suicide and things of that nature, they're like, oh well, I thought they had a great life. I saw them on social media, but that's not the same thing of having a connection, having that relationship of calling and actually reaching out and getting to know or keeping tabs with somebody. Because I think people are like, oh, I liked it. Oh, great picture underneath, and think everything is great. She takes the best selfies, all the things, but you don't know what's going on. Like, you're like, oh, she has 50 million friends. She might have just one in real life.
That is so true. Like, literally, as I get older, I see it more and more. I see it in relationships a lot.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm sorry. When you said they made like you were 50, you're like, as I get older.
As I get older. No, as I get older, I see more and more, like, especially relationships, where from the outside, it's like, oh, man, good for y'all. And it's not funny. And then I'll hear something, and I'm just like, I'll go back on their page, and no pictures of them anymore.
Right, we want to know what happened, Billy. We want to know what happened.
It's like, how did it go from this to that? Or it'll, like, all the pictures are still there, but then you know what's really going on, and you just like, bruh, like,
you know example of that? Our favorite, Jared and Ayana from Love is Blind.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, we were supposed to talk about that.
Really? What is wrong?
No, because the reason why I'm saying is because
based on social media, you would think all things are great.
I wasn't following them.
Oh.
You told me about it, but I wasn't following them, so I didn't.
I
wasn't thinking.
Well, yes, based on. I was like, we talked about this.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, just based on social media, you think they're great, and I mean, a lot of regular people relationships are great, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So I think it's really important to not get so caught up on social media and the quickness of a text. To remember to still have that connection with people. I'm not saying go through your whole friend list. I mean, but the people who are close to you and that you quote unquote in your head have this relationship, actually have a relationship. Let's go to coffee. Pick up the phone. Let's chat. You can use technology. It's good. Put it on FaceTime or you're doing dishes or whatever.
Right.
Just have that conversation. It can be
That's
hands-free. Use it for your good if you're not able to catch up. Actually look in somebody's eye like, hey, how are you doing?
That's facts. FaceTime, phone call, because, like, I have an example. I had a friend who, you know, I'm watching him on social media. He's hanging out with friends all the time. He's going out. You know, it seems like he's living his best life. And then I texted him, you know, one day. I was like, hey, bro, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, he was having depression, and what he was doing, everything I was seeing, he was using that to escape from what he was dealing with. That's what he told me, and I was just like, bro, that's when it hit me. I was like, man, you just don't know. You don't even know why people show you certain things on social media.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's this so you won't focus on me.
You won't think that there's something going on. You know what I'm saying?
You listen.
Check on the people you love for real.
No, serious.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about mental health all the time. Just like you really have to like pick up that phone and like connect with people. Like, I don't care if you think everything's good. If they're texting, oh, it's fine. Pick up and like, hey, you sure you good? Like, just even, and you don't have to let them know that you're checking. Just like, oh, just to call, like, hey, what you up to? So you can hear their tone. You can hear if they feel rushed or whatever. Like, what's going on and why? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's.
And I feel like people, especially nowadays, you have to value that so much.
Yes.
Because, like, everyone is just in their own world, and they're satisfied. I'm speaking about myself, too. They're satisfied with, like, hey, I sent them something on social media today. So I feel like I'm still engaging with them. We texted about something real short, like, VMAs or whatever. We're talking, but we're not really talking. You know what I'm saying? We got to do better at that, because imagine that's all the conversation you have, and then finally one of your friends says, hey, man, how are you doing? Hey, let's get on the phone. And when they call you, it's just like, man, okay, this person really cares about me, because people don't just be calling like that.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying? So it means a lot. Don't
yeah.
underestimate it.
And texts are good. I mean, for that quick whatever check in, but it does wonders to hear somebody's voice, to hear the ups and downs. Because I mean, I know someone recently who like had a health scare, and like they called me like, you didn't even check on me. I was like, well, you said you were fine, because I legit talked to them on the phone. They said they're fine, but then like somebody else texted them, like they said they were okay, and I read the text. I'm like, oh, they're fine, but he was like, no, I'm not fine. But I wanted them to call, and I'm like, well, I don't know. It was a lot, but however, I get that. Like, you don't know just because somebody said text, oh, I'm okay, what's really going on. You have to like reach out and like have that call. It's just so much. It was so many studies that because you gotta even think about like when you walk down the street, people are not even having the engagement of like, hey, how are you doing? What are they doing? They're down on their phone. They're, like in restaurants, they're down on their phone. There's no kind of like check even like, hey, how are you? You know what I mean? It's like wherever you go, you see that disconnect. And I think that's why we're in that state we're in. People don't like, they feel like they don't know what the other person's going through, or not necessarily on a personal level, but just like it's a disconnect of like, I don't understand how they feel that way, because you're not no one's taking time to have a conversation. They're just like based on social media or whatever. But if somebody has a different mindset of you, have a conversation instead of like going based on the screen or some article or whatever. I think people are just basing all of their information based on something they saw on Facebook, something they saw on Instagram or whatever, TikTok, but instead of just having a conversation with somebody who doesn't look like you or whatever, to get the shorten the divide, the gap, I should say, close the gap.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, I just feel like that's at the end of the day, that's all we're striving to do, is to close that gap amongst us. I mean, and I just feel like technology is just making it bigger and bigger. The what's it called? The metaverse. I mean, goodness gracious, is there a bigger disconnect with people? It's just like you want a disconnect. It's like I'm in this whole little world with these fake people, all the things, and
You know, that's I feel like
that's
it's
such
very interesting, because I feel like with social media, the way it was presented to everyone was, this is another way for us to interact with each other and become closer. But we've seen, since it was introduced, the only thing it's really done is to help us really look into each other's lives in a way, because it now is to the point where are you really, yeah, you're looking into people's lives, but you're only looking into what they want to show. You know what I'm saying? Like back before then, you really didn't see much of people. Before the internet, you really didn't see much of people unless you were around them, or they mailed you some pictures. I'm guessing. Really, no, for
hey,
real.
you go visit, like, oh, look at my photo album from my trip.
No, literally.
No, I know. I was being funny.
Yeah, that's how it was. But now, but that's what social media really is. It's just that photo album that you would only see if you went over to their house and actually visited them, which would require personal interaction.
Yes.
So now you're actually taking away that personal interaction, and now you're just looking at photo albums. You know what I'm saying? And so it's interesting when you introduce the metaverse now, the way they're always going to market it is, this is another way, a new way that we're going to bring people closer together. But what is to make us believe that that's actually what's going to happen? If anything, it's just another way for companies to market to you in different environments, because we were just talking about this. JP and Morgan, or Morgan and Morgan, they're advertising there. You got Gucci, got stores in the metaverse. Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, I could log on, you could log on, and we could both be in Decentraland together. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Walking around, going to a park or whatever. But guess what we're passing? We're passing the Gucci store. We're passing some kind of Pepsi store. We can buy a metaverse Gucci belt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to me, the priority is not to bring people together. The priority is to make money.
Yeah, definitely.
That
1,000%.
is what the metaverse is about. It's not about bringing people together. If people are able to come together and enjoy that, they're going to be like, great. While you're here, buy something.
Yeah.
But just know, don't be waiting on the metaverse like, I'm finally gonna get to hang out with grandma. Grandma, the metaverse is so new. A lot of people are not even gonna know how to get on it. Okay, so you still got old people still getting on Facebook, and they're only on Facebook. They're not on Instagram.
My
like
grandma.
that.
Oh Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So don't be thinking like this is gonna finally I'll be able to connect, because that's not how it's gonna work.
It's
That's
not.
not the priority, and so it's not gonna happen like that.
It is not. So, the biggest thing I just want people to take away is just to remember that personal, that relationship with people, that personal interaction. When you're out, speak to people. Remember, we are people. You don't have to like look on Facebook to know people or social media. You can see people all around you. Have a conversation. Hey, how are you? Get to know people, and then the more you interact, the more that divide will close, and you'll get to your perspective will grow and like have more compassion and more grace. I feel like with all the technology, with the convenience of curbside, everything, you have limited interaction with people. I have to like, even for myself, like I do curbside Chick-fil-A all the time, and
Gotta get them points.
listen, art and just all things, and I found myself getting like, oh my gosh, why is it not ready? But we have to stop like and just like look around and
I'm sorry, that's funny.
no,
Where are my
but
nuggets?
no, I mean, I do it all the time. I do everything mobile order, Starbucks, everything. Listen, I'm very guilty of it. However, you have to be more conscious of like human interaction, and when things go astray or mess up, guess what? We are human. We're not technology. We're going to make mistakes. I think that's what people are forgetting. We're getting so used to the ease and the fastness of technology that when a human makes a mistake, it's like the end of the world. What? This is why I don't come in the store. This is why I do everything online. Yes, it's that convenience is great. Trust me, I love it. However,
Have you ever? Oh, sorry.
no, I'm just saying. However, just remember, there's people behind this. Like everybody has a story. Just extend that grace and just get to know people, touch people, talk to people, and just have that relationship with people. Don't forget, don't neglect it. I'm gonna call you more. He like,
Oh yeah,
don't call
yeah.
me.
No, no. I need to call. I need to call you. Like, I was okay. This is the last thing I'll say. I was literally talking to my dad about this yesterday when I was on the phone talking to him, and he was saying like, "Hey, look, never underestimate like how meaningful even a text. You know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna
you know?
downfall text.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't want that to be the only way you communicate.
But a text like literally saying, "How are you doing?" Not just, here, look at this video of this baby or whatever. Like, how are you? What's going on? That genuine interest in that person. Showing people that you actually care.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that sending them a video is really saying you care. I mean, I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
But it's not the same as literally saying, "How are you doing?" That right there is the piece of humanity we have to hold on to as social media continues to grow, which we really need to start calling anti-social media. Because if you stick around in social media and the metaverse long enough, then you finally go to Walmart, you're going to be looking crazy like,
No, for real. That's
I don't
how.
want to talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it's going to be.
Yes, and we talked about the aftermath of COVID. People kind of interact like that now, like
Yeah.
and now they have monkeypox, all the things, and now it's like, get away from me.
Right.
And it's just like the progression of it all,
Right.
and it's just whoo.
So, yeah.
Get out, talk to your people, check on your people, just
Yes.
people around you. Don't just look on social media like, oh, I don't know.
Those facts.
So
Love that.
yeah. Alrighty, people. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Comment, let us know what you think about this or what you think about technology. Do you think it's great? There's nothing wrong with it. Keep on going. Or do you think that we need to get back to humanity and like check on people around you, and just not just even your friends, just people around you. People are struggling. People are hurting. There's might be someone next to you on the sidewalk. Because you're so stuck on your phone, you don't even see that this person is hurting. And a simple, "Hey, how are you?" could make wonders, or a smile or something can change their entire day. So just don't forget about that. Put your phones away for just a little bit. I mean, we all love TikTok stories and all the things, but just remember, there are people hurting, there are people who are needing you and wanting that connection. So
I just want to say nowadays, if someone's hurt on the sidewalk, they're like, "I helped somebody today."
right. It's a crazy world. Just forget. You just remember there are people out here.
Yeah.
So we need each other. But we need each other. That's all I can say. So
That's the word. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week on Closing the Gap. Y'all be safe.
bye.